Thank you so much, Mbaili. And of course, to our SABC viewers, welcome to another segment of the Politics Wrap. And today we're going to zoom in Mogale City. So now on to this. A new mayor will be elected in Mogale City in the next 2 weeks following the resignation of the ATM's Thupane as mayor before a motion of no confidence against him was tabled by the PAC. Thupane's decision came after discussions with the ATM and ANC, which are coalition partners in the city. The current speaker, like Sele, is tipped to be the new mayor. Joining us now on hybrid to speak more about this matter, we're joined by ATM spokesperson Zama Ntshona and Matsheke, who is the West Rand ANC regional chairperson. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the Politics Wrap. William, I'll just start off with you. Now, new mayors are set to be elected in the next 2 weeks. Are we likely to see an ANC mayor being elected in Mogale City? More specifically, will we see, like Sele, actually take the position?
Thanks, Natasha, and good evening to your viewers. I must indicate that we are looking forward to the elections of the new mayors, the African National Congress. However, I must also indicate that there are guidelines that guide the process towards election of the new executive mayor. As the African National Congress, we will be communicating with our coalition partners, like you have correctly indicated, that there are parties that we are in coalition with. We have not yet concluded on who will be the executive mayor. However, we are going to persuade our coalition partners to make sure that the African National Congress, as per the principles that guides the coalition framework that was discussed at the dialogue, materializes.
Okay. Zama, let's also just bring you into this conversation. Now, we saw that letter by Mr. Thupane, and of course, in his resignation letter, he says that this decision comes after discussions with the ANC and the ATM. Was he pushed or did he voluntarily resign as mayor?
Thank you so much. Good evening to you and the viewers. Well, as the agreement that was there at the inception of the coalition, there would come a time where the party with the most votes would actually lead the coalition. So that time had come, and engaging each other, it was time for Mayor Thupane, who had actually done very well leading the coalition of Mogale City, to actually allow the party with the most number of votes in the coalition to actually lead.
And just as a follow-up question, Zama, I know that the motion was actually brought about by the PAC, and they had said that Thupane had actually failed his duties as the mayor. What do you have to say as the ATM?
Not really. I think the PAC is being very economical with the truth when it comes to that. Because if you listen to Mayor Thupane, especially when he speaks on the matter of the municipal manager, because that seems to be the bone of contention there. Mayor Thupane is saying this matter has actually been handed over to the authorities. And the authorities must do due diligence on the matter. And upon the finalization of the matter, I can then act on the matter of the municipal manager. But I can't, on the basis of rumors and allegations, actually go ahead and implement a decision. In fact, he goes further and he says the municipal manager is actually appointed by council. If council sees fit that council wants to go ahead of the finalization of the matter in terms of the investigations, then council can do so. But I wouldn't have advised us that. That's what Mayor Thupane is saying, because matters of this nature are matters of legalities. And if you rush to take any individual out, you may find yourself in hot water because you may have actually taken a flawed narrative or directive or action to actually resolve a matter and end up actually being an individual who spoils the whole process. These processes must be taken into consideration whenever disciplinary actions must be taken against any individual. So that is the stand on this matter, and we do not believe that Mayor Thupane actually failed. The municipality, it was a short time, but it is at a better position than it was before he started leading the coalition.
And we'll actually come to that shortly, but let me just take this conversation back to William. William, you've heard the question that I actually posed to Zama Ntshona there of the ATM. Do you agree with the PAC sentiments that he had actually failed in his duties as the mayor for the time that he served?
Look, Natasha, we have always been clear as coalition partners within Mogale City that whatever decision that needs to be taken will be taken according to the principle that guided our coalition partnership. The PAC then was not necessarily part of the coalition within Mogale City. When they tabled the motion against the former executive mayor, they will have done that prior before the 29th of May national and provincial elections. Most of us, we are aware of what could have transpired immediately after the national and provincial elections, where a GNU, under the leadership of the ANC, took over the governance of the country. And the PAC then became part and parcel of the GNU. At the current moment, we are engaging all political parties, including the PAC, in constituting government within Mogale City. And on issues that relates to the former executive mayor, we will not necessarily say he has failed in his duties. Like the spokesperson of the ATM will have indicated, there are processes that need to unfold within Mogale City. Allegations will remain allegations until they are tested before a court of law. So we were in discussion with him, and he will have indicated to us, like the spokesperson will have indicated his willingness to then resign as the mayor, so that he allows the party with the majority seats within council to take over. He did not do so because of he has failed in his duties. He has done so because of his conscience will have informed him to do so, so that he allows the party with the majority seat, which is the African National Congress, to take over.
Okay. William, I like the fact that you mentioned, a GNU. It's quite interesting that the ATM and the ANC are coalition partners in Mogale City, whilst at a national level, we know that the ANC is part of the GNU and the ATM is part of a progressive caucus. How is the working relationship between the two parties at a local government level?
Natasha, our relationship with the ATM at the local level has been great, we must indicate. And we must also remember that in Mogale City, we are currently under a coalition government, not necessarily a GNU. And that coalition government was on the basis of the discussions that could have transpired sometimes in 2022, when we removed then the DA from the executive position. That agreement still stands, and the relationship has been great. However, with the current situation at the GNU level, we have been in communication with our provincial leadership as well as our National Executive Committee to guide us in terms of how do we move forward in terms of the current situation in Mogale City, where the coalition has been extremely stable, and we are happy as the African National Congress. However, we'll be guided by the African National Congress at the national level, because we must understand that we respect democratic centralism as the regional leadership. Therefore, we'll take the mandate from both the NEC and the PAC in terms of moving forward.
Okay. Let me take this conversation back to Zama. Zama, you were just about to tell us what significant contributions, Mr. Thupane had actually made from the time he was actually mayor, that 1 year, 6 months in Mogale City.
Thank you so much. As I'm going to that, the African Transformation Movement is not an anti-GNU political party. We are just anti-GNU with the DA and the FF class. Otherwise, when progressive forces come together, as is the case in Mogale City, ATM is for that coalition. I thought I should just mention that as I'm going to the issue of the successes. As reported by the mayor and the partners, there was on issues of debt reduction, we saw an improvement as far as that is concerned. As reported also from the municipality, the issue of the municipality now being able to collect revenue, so that the municipality is now able to make decisions and budgetary plans from an existing budget. Now we have moved from the red zone to a point where we could say that the coalition actually led the municipality well as far as that. Yes, it is not yet out of the woods, but at least there is improvement. There is steady improvement when it comes to accounting. When you look at the audit outcomes, they are better than they were when the coalition started. So this has been a coalition that actually worked. Now remember, the ATM only has one seat in that municipality, so we can't take the credit for the improvements. This was a collective effort with our coalition partners.
Okay, and just, briefly, how do you respond to claims by the FF Plus that, Mr. Thupane was actually a puppet of the ANC and the EFF?
The FF Plus is anti the forces of the left showing progress. We are not shocked when they would say that. We are not surprised when they would look at the parties that are majority black advancing, and they would have such a sentiment. In Mogale City, the EFF, the ATM, the ANC work well. And the gains that have actually been acquired, they are according to that collective and collaborative effort. So we are not shocked that the FF Plus would actually look down on the efforts of those who command the majority of the votes that are coming from those who were previously disadvantaged and majority black.
Okay, William, in just 30 seconds, how do you respond to those claims?
I think the spokesperson is quite correct. There's been stability and there's been changes in terms of service delivery within Mogale City, although there are areas of improvement. However, in relation to what the FF will have raised, is very unfortunate. It's not the case within Mogale City, because there is stability in Mogale City, there's political leadership in Mogale City, there is administrative leadership in Mogale City. Whoever that will take the baton, we are excited that we will not be taking a baton in an instance of a shell, but on something that will have been built by the coalition partners. And we are looking forward to an ANC mayor after the engagement, whom we are aware that it will be someone who possesses a lot of experience, who's youthful, who will be able to take the baton forward.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time on the Politics Wrap this evening. Of course, it would be interesting to see who the new mayor in Mogale City will be in the next 2 weeks. As from me, that's all that I have for you tonight on the Politics Wrap. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Mbali, who'll be back at 10. But now it's time for your weather.